So I started off in Puerto Madryn, and it's at the very northernmost part of the mission. Um, and the first week when I got there, the first P Day, I was in the area that's closest to the ocean. And we went out on the pier and I got to see the whales jumping. It's a very interesting thing about that area is that that's the most southernmost beach that really is worthwhile to go to. So a lot of tourists will come in to go to the beach during the summer, not during the winter. And then they'll go out and see the whales. So that was a really incredible thing. Like my first P Day was able to go and do. The area there is, I was in pretty flat ground. There's some areas that have a lot of hills. And even in my area, there was diversity of some of it was paved, some of it was not. At least in Puerto Uno, where I was, they had, it was a little bit nicer, just that it was more paved and families that had been in the church for a little bit longer. I just love that area. They are very welcoming and open and willing to give of their food, of their time. The members really want to help there with the missionary work, and we had a lot of the young single adults that would come out with us to go teach different people. They're willing to share with their family. They just need to have a little bit of confidence in you. So if you go and you talk to them and show that you're really willing to work, they have a little more confidence and will share a little bit more with you. So this wouldn't be true of every missionary there, but at least part of my area, I had a Bolivian area. Like part of it was a lot of like a neighborhood where a lot of Bolivians lived, which they're fabulous people, very hard workers. So like a good majority of my ward actually were people from Bolivia that had been living in the United States for a good like half of their life. So they were more Argentine. But yeah, that was Puerto Madryn. It was great. This wouldn't be everyone's experience, but someone that I taught there was this family. I met them the first day that I was there in the mission. Her name's Rosa, and like the rest of her family. She was a single mom of 5 kids, and wonderful, wonderful woman who she would laugh and help me laugh about my Spanish. But so I was there from end of September into December. So I was there in Puerto Madryn for 4.5 months, and we were there around Christmas time. And she, being a single mom, didn't have as much to give her kids. Her kids were like teenage years, and she had recently been laid off her job, so she really had no support. And she'd been baptized, but this Christmas they knew that they really weren't going to have anything. And it's a really big deal there to have like a lot of food at Christmas. That's part of like celebrating. They don't do as many presents, but food and fireworks are a really big deal. So she was actually going to like have her kids go with their father, who had been very abusive, and the kids actually really didn't like going with him because of many different reasons, but it wasn't a positive experience. But she was going to send them so that they would actually have food and other things in Christmas. So we knew this was going to happen, but we came over and we're just chatting with her. The kids were like, no, we're going to stay with you. We don't want you to have a horrible Christmas as well, being here by yourself. So a couple days before Christmas, we were over at their house just teaching, and she was expressing to us like these worries that she had. And she told us that, we kneeled down and prayed at the end of the lesson and just taught her and tried to like share with her the importance of praying and how Heavenly Father can help you. And so a couple days later, Christmas Eve, we went over to the house, and the atmosphere of the house was very different. They were all excited and happy. Like, wait, we were over here 2 days ago and you were all very sad, like did not want to have Christmas. What happened? And Rosa started sharing with us that the night before she had been putting her daughters to bed, and her youngest daughter knew that her mom was sad and said, Mom, let's say a prayer that we'll be able to have food for Christmas. And so they knelt down, and the youngest daughter, who was 7, to give a little bit of, to understand her a little better, she had a Book of Mormon that she couldn't really read, but she had like stickers of the number 8 all over it, because she knew that when she was 8, she was going to be able to be baptized. And she wanted to be baptized so bad, like her sisters and her mom, that she always had like this Book of Mormon with all the number 8s on it. So she had all of them kneel down together and said a prayer that they'd be able to find food. So the next day, Rosa went to the grocery store just to get a couple of things so they would have something. And some man saw her at when she was checking out, and they got talking. And he was like, well, you don't have enough for Christmas. Like, let's go back through the store, and went through the store with her and got more than they'd had in like the last month of food, so that they could have like this wonderful Christmas experience. And she was sharing this story just in tears. And my companion and I had been so worried that they wouldn't have anything, that we had like tried to put together some like banana bread to take over so that we could like make something with them, because Rosa didn't want us to like ask anybody for food, or didn't want us to make it a big deal. So we were all like in tears. It was just this huge miracle. We all knelt down and just said prayer of gratitude. And that was something I'll never forget, in that area, knowing that Heavenly Father does take care of His people, even if they, like Rosa was having a hard time. She'd relapsed into smoking again, so she was having a really hard time believing that her prayers were really going to matter. And so I know that the Lord really does take care of His people and really wants to help them. So have faith that there will be miracles, because the Lord will provide.